As the old saying goes, when a stranger calls, you throw that phone out of a window and you hide under your bed until your parents come home. Here are 5 people who should have done just that. These are the top 5 creepy calls. Oogity boogity. Number 5, cold case calls. In 1965, a young Florida woman by the name of Judith Hyam went missing without a trace. When her car was found abandoned in Atlanta with blood all over the back seat, everyone assumed the worst. And the worst is murder, by the way, not like a heavy flow. So here's where things get fishy. Judith was pregnant at the time, and if you're not aware, the 1960s was not a very welcoming place for a young, unmarried, pregnant woman. Judith allegedly made arrangements to have an illegal abortion from a super unreputable doctor who suspiciously boot-scooted out of town as soon as details of her disappearance surfaced. Just like a man, ghosting her just like it ghosts the rest of us. Richard! Please call me. Okay, let's fast forward to 1990. Chuck Shearer, who was a police captain of Judith's hometown, started to receive a slew of phone calls regarding Judith's whereabouts, to which the police captain said, "Bitch, what?" Because honey, this was 30 years ago, and he is a police captain in Florida, so you know that man is busy. At this point, the volume of calls had gotten so great that Chuck Shearer decided to turn this story into the TV show Unsolved Mysteries, when finally we learned the truth. Turns out the doctor had indeed performed an illegal abortion for Judith in the back of her car, and she died. This creepy doctor fled the country and was never tried for the death of Judith. I'm not gonna get political here, but let's not go backwards because these stories are real, okay? That's all I'll say. Number 4, me and Tom. When I was 7.5 years old, my home phone started blowing up with calls from a guy named Thomas. Thomas would call me to order a pizza. Hey, I'm not a pizza place, I'm a person and I live in a family home. A Dramatization by Rachel Evans. Ring ring. Hello? Can I have a large pepperoni pizza? This isn't pizza, this is Rachel. Year-long friendship ignited. So Thomas would call every month or every month and a half. When we got past the initial stage of him pretending to order a pizza, we just talk about life. We would chat on the phone for maybe 5 minutes, and he was like, "I'm 50, and I'm a man. Why are you speaking to me?" That's weird when you say that out loud. Huh. So the phone calls stopped when I turned 9 years old for some reason. And I've always wondered, like, Thomas, where are you? If you're watching this, I'm okay. I hope you're okay. I hope that you got your pepperoni pizza, and I hope that you don't need to speak to 8-year-old girls anymore to find happiness. And I miss you a little bit, which is weird. Number 3, woman predicts JFK assassination. JFK was very publicly assassinated on November 23rd, 1963. This national tragedy shook the world and changed the way that we view public safety. It also opened an entirely new forum on government conspiracies. Who killed this beloved figure? Was it the government? Was it the radicals? Was it a whispering woman in Oxnard, California? Last one seems crazy, I know, but is it? No, it's not. Listen to me. At 10 a.m. on November 23rd, 1963, sound familiar? The Oxnard, California dispatcher team received a phone call from a whispering woman who claimed that the president would be assassinated at 10:30 a.m. The woman whispered, "The Supreme Court. There's gonna be fire in all the windows." Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say, whispering lady. The call disconnected at 10:25 a.m. and the dispatcher brushed it off as a crazy lady, but 5 minutes later, the president was dead. Now here's the real spooky part. When the woman first began her rant, she said the president would die at 10:10 a.m. Halfway through the phone call, she received another call from a different phone. She picked up that phone, and when the dispatcher said, "Excuse me, ma'am, is there anything I can help you with?" the whispering woman goes, "I'm on the phone." After this rude aside, the woman bumped the killing from 10:10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Okay, here's what. JFK was supposed to arrive at his final destination at 10:10 a.m., but because he got hung up shaking hands and kissing babies, his arrival time was delayed to 10:30 a.m., which means that whomever this woman was on the other phone with fed her that information. How did she know that JFK was running behind schedule? Who is this woman? Who was she on the phone with? And who killed JFK? Truth is out there, man. Number 2, stalked to death. Bashir was a wealthy restaurant owner in Washington, D.C., but before that, he was just a regular wealthy, not like Kardashian wealthy, just like normal owned-a-home wealthy person in Lebanon. In 1974, Bashir was abducted and tortured for 5 days, and his escape would come when he attempted suicide, and his torturers brought him to the hospital. Mission Impossible shit. Bashir escaped the hospital and escaped to freedom and eventually fled to Washington, D.C., where he would open a very successful Moroccan restaurant. Good on ya, Bashir. After establishing his business, he started to receive phone calls from grown men putting on young girls' voices, which I'm assuming sounds something like, "Hi, I'm a little girl." After tireless weeks of telephonic harassment, Bashir unfortunately took his own life. But the calls didn't stop there. After his death, the harassers would continue to call his restaurant. "You monsters, you leave those fry cooks alone." When the FBI finally got involved, they traced the calls back to multiple payphones around the world. But why? At the time, Bashir himself was baffled and offered a kind of wackadoo, but also kind of legit theory that these kidnappers thought that he was CIA. Which sounds crazy, I know, but honestly, if he hadn't said it first, I would have thought that was some CIA shit. Bashir's dead now, and we're never gonna know what happened, and all the secrets lie with him, and now we just have to live knowing that a group of grown men called another grown man pretending to be little girls until he killed himself. And we don't know why. I can't live in this world. Number 1, Area 51 on Coast to Coast. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. This is my holy grail. This is what we're here for. This is why we do this. For the uninitiated, Coast to Coast is an AM radio show about spooky dookies and mysteries of the universe. Sometimes it's the best thing in the world, and this is one of those times. In 1997, Art Bell, the host of Coast to Coast, received a frantic phone call from a former employee of Area 51, which I have spoken about in the past, if you'll remember. I told you there'd be a quiz. Here it is. This man was desperately trying to let us know that we are not alone.
They're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. The disasters that are coming, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
So this phone call ended because the transmitter of the entire radio station went dark. No signal, no power, nothing. This failure happened as soon as the caller started talking about the aliens' interference with our government and population control. The truth is out there, and I guess it's on AM radio. Who knew? Get at me, Radio Disney. So like I said at the beginning, don't answer your phone, hide under your bed, live with your parents until you die. Because somebody's gonna get you. If it's not your fellow humans, I promise it's an alien. Don't answer your phones. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like it, please subscribe to Snarled, watch our other videos, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you want me to talk about next time. Did you know that we are now partnering with Loot Crate? There is a link that you can follow, and if you put in the code SNARLED, you'll get 10% off your crate. That is some crate news.